How many of you have specific tasks that you must accurately and effectively do every day for your job? And out of those tasks, how many of them are detrimental to both you as well as another living being's health? Out of those tasks, can one mistake cause many issues that can be complex or difficult to correct? In my line of work, I have a task that is complex, which is that complex, which I'm going to present to you today. I own and operate my own business where I provide services in equine sports massage therapy, equine electric acupressure, horse training, horseback riding lessons, as well as horse sales. One of my favorite job duties that I have is horse rehabilitation. One very detrimental task that is important to me, both me and the horse, is that of saddle on the horse. The first topic I would like to discuss is the parts of the horse and how it moves. Secondly, I will discuss the parts of the saddle and how it functions. Here's a diagram that has the parts of the horse shown, and each part is labeled with the correct name for that body part. Look at the diagram that I provide, or the main body parts we will discuss are those that are affected by the saddle and how it fits. Look at the diagram I have provided for you, and see at the top of the horse where it is labeled the wither. The wither is a very important part of the horse, by it being a prominent point in the front of this part of the saddle that sits over the top of it. The wither is responsible for keeping the saddle centered, and it gives the saddle fit the stability it needs to keep the rider and as well as the horse safe. The next body part that is crucial to the horse's well-being is where the scapula bone in the shoulder rotates. If the saddle fits too tightly to the wither and it doesn't lie around the shoulder, it will pinch, causing pain in the wither region, and oftentimes can cause a misalignment within the wither itself. If there is pain and pinching where the scapula bone tries to rotate past, this will cause the horse to move in such a way that it will try to avoid the saddle, causing the horse to swing its leg out and around instead of tracking straight as the body should. The next part of the body is the back, with special attention to the lumbar area. If the saddle fit is fitting poorly, it will add trauma to these points, causing both pain as well as muscle constriction. If this happens, the horse will begin to carry its head higher than it should and hollow out its back, which will be causing the horse to shorten up its steps with its hind end, causing muscle imbalances to occur. The last major part of the horse that I will discuss is the girth region of the horse, which is just behind the shoulder on the bottom of the barrel. Oftentimes, with an ill-fitted saddle, the rider will just tighten the saddle to keep the saddle from slipping from side to side. By tightening the saddle, the horse is feeling the pain pinching behind the shoulders across the rib, and it can cause bruising as well as other muscle issues through this region. These issues can cause your horse to be cantankerous and unwilling to please. I will now discuss with you the parts of the saddle that can hinder the horse's well-being. The first part of the saddle is the width of the tree called the gullet. This is part of the saddle that fits over the horse's shoulders, and then if this is too tight, it will cause the pinching near the wither that was discussed before, causing the horse to swing its leg out instead of tracking in a straight line. This issue can cause lameness within the horse over a period of time. Another important thing about this specific part of the saddle is the height of the saddle horn of the tree. If the saddle is too tall in this area in relation to the specific horse, it can cause too much room for the saddle to move side to side, causing pain. If the saddle is too short, the saddle is sitting directly on the wither, and it can cause sores to become present, calcification within the wither, or even severe pain and misalignments within the wither. The next important part of the saddle I will discuss is the rest of the tree, where this Tree within the saddle sits across the horse's back. If the saddle is sitting too close to the spine, then the horse can have muscle constrictions and calcification in the spine, especially across the lumbar area or in the center of the back. A severe misalignment can be caused by across the back, and the spine will be pulled up, causing what is called a hunter's bump. And here's a picture that shows what a hunter's bump looks like. The last part of the saddle I pay a lot of attention to is the girth area. If the saddle is fitting too far forward, this can cause pain pinching behind the shoulder and can cause sores to arise in this area as well. If the cinch is too narrow, it can cut into the muscles in the girth area, causing muscle trauma. Tips to ensure that you have a good saddle fit for your horse is you may want to make sure that the cinch is not too tight, which will allow the horse to be able to breathe easily and move without injury from the cinch. Making sure that there is plenty of room from the tree and the horse, allowing the saddle to move without trying to avoid pain from the back or the wither. Saddle fit is extremely important for both you and your horse's safety. Without issues from your saddle fit, this will help your horse to live a happier and healthier life while being more balanced, which gives you benefits including a smoother and easier horse to ride, a healthier horse to where you're not having to have added expenses from body work or vet appointments. And this is one of the most important things to be mindful of when you are working with your horse, and you can remember and be aware of this. You will be more successful than if you ignore these important tips. Thank you, and is there any questions from the group?